everybody, and a happy new year to you all. Thanks for joining me tonight here in the UK. I'm Louise Daniels. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from the UK, here up in the cold north. We've not had snow on the east coast yet, but it's certainly very, very cold. Now this evening I'm going to do something slightly different, because we spent all of last year looking at various products that we all buy, and we get them home, or we get our order, hi Lorraine, and we say, oh, why did I buy that? Now today I thought I'd start a challenge to myself. There's going to be a way you can join in, hi Mum, later on, and I'll explain that. But don't forget, if you are watching, to say hi, hashtag live, and let me know you're there. And don't forget, I'd love you to comment along too. So back to what we're going to start doing this evening. I don't know whether any of you have actually seen these yet. It's not working. Well, oh, that's a shame, Sarah, but anyway. So I don't know whether any of you have seen these yet, but I'm just going to switch cameras. And these are the colour cards, which are available to Stampin' Up demos, and they are a selection of all of the card stock that we have. Hi Kathy, hi Fran. If you are one of my team and you haven't got one yet, please don't order it, because it's on its way as soon as I see you live. And what I thought we'd do tonight is they come on a ring. I'm going to close my eyes, I promise. I'm going to open it up in 3 places, and I'm going to make something with those colours tonight, because Stampin' Up has some incredible colours. They do coordinate really well. I've got some DSP in these colours. I've got obviously some of the inks. I've got white cardstock ready to go, and some of the new stamps. Hi Elizabeth, hi Kathy. So let's see. So I'm not looking, I promise you. In fact, I'm going to turn it round. And the first one I've got there is, is Flirty Flamingo, I think that is. So we want Flirty Flamingo. I'm just going to make myself a note. We've got, I'm stuck to the table. Flirty Flamingo. It's going to be nice and bright, that is for sure. Plus, I'm not looking, I'm just flicking them around. Oh, what's that one? Merlot. And the last one, let's have a see. Here we go. Oh, hang on, I nearly dropped them. Just a minute. Oh, what's that one? Pear Pizzazz. Now, for those of you who've been lucky enough to come, so we've got Pear Pizzazz. Oh, where I've lost them now completely. Flirty Flamingo is back down here. That's there's Merlot and Flirty Flamingo. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just stand up and grab, I know I've got the Flirty Flamingo ink up here, and I know I've got the Merlot. I've got some inks. I'm going to go and grab a bit of Pear Pizzazz cardstock, because for those of you who've been in my craft room, I'm lucky, I have all the colours. A couple of pieces of that one, and a bit of Merlot, and oh, can't get that one off, and a bit of Flirty Flamingo. So, and while I'm talking and wandering around the craft room whilst I'm also live, here we go. So we've also got, so there's the 3 colours, and I've literally just had a pack of the latest bright DSP delivered. So I'm going to find some Flirty Flamingo and go with that one. 2 patterns this year. Show you what I'm talking about in a second. Right, so let's see what we can create this evening. I'd like to know in the comments whether you'd like birthday cards or a special occasion card or a thank you card. That might be a good idea at this time of year. So, first of all, interesting colour combo. Thanks, Becca. Right, we're going to go for a piece of Pear Pizzazz cut to make a card base. On the top of that now, shall we have the Fleur de Lis or the crisscross? Fleur de Lis, thank you cards and birthdays. Hi Donna. Crisscross or Fleur de Lis? What do we reckon? Well, I'm just making a little something. So I've got that one. I like the idea of a thank you card. I'm going to do that one there. Right, so let's have a look. Done that one. Crisscross. Okay, thank you with a crisscross. Right, let's go for the crisscross. So I'm going to make that slightly smaller. Going to be certainly bright. And I'm keeping all these little scraps to one side because in a minute I shall use all of these. So I'm going to pop, yep, crisscross, crisscross, crisscross. That's going on there. I'm going to make that smaller. I always find it's best to take off a little bit and then you can always add some more. And I'm going to take the Tombow, which is going to work. There we go. I hope you're all recovering from COVID. Those of you who've got it, had it, feeling a bit better. Right, so we've got so far, we've got the 2 layers. So I'm going to bring in one of the new stamp sets, which I seem to have, oh, they're here. And this is called Driving By, and I think this is lovely. Bit like last week, but I'm going to take the little car. I'm going to get a little scrap of white. This is one of the Celebration products, so you can, I'm going to cut this one again to fit on here. I'm going to go to this one. I'm going to use my Merry Merlot ink. Well done, Elizabeth. Pleased to hear that. Don't forget to always stamp just to check it's actually inking up. I'm going to take those 2 out the way. I'm going to pop this at the top. And this one, there we go. I'm not sure he's very straight. I'm going to turn him over and see it. Try again. That's better. Now the sentiments in here, I'll say, oh thanks, you've got style, just driving by to say hi. But I was asked to make a thank you card, so we'll find this another set that I use a lot. Sadly discontinued now, but this is a really nice thank you. And again, I'm going to do it on the bottom here, because you could say that that was a present of a pile of the cards that you received for Christmas. And I'm just literally going to glue, just looking to see. Oh, I have, hang on. No, I haven't. Yes, I have. Let's have a bit of this. Do something clever here. I'm going to get a little bit of the white. Now I haven't got, yes I have, telling porcupines now. I've got my Flirty Flamingo pen, my white ribbon, and if you remember, it's ever so easy to just colour using the brush end the ribbons to meet what you'd like them to do. There we go. Just let that dry a second because there we go. I'm going to put glue on the back, like so, ready to stick. I'm going to pick that up. I'm going to hold that on there, like so, and tie it round. Try not sticking it to me. Quite good at doing that at the moment. Lift that on, prod it down, pick that up, and then just put a tiny little bit of glue, because this ribbon is very, very light, and I'm just going to use there we go. Is that straightish? Oh yes, look, I've even managed to get it straight. So there we go. That's my first. Okay, I didn't know people had subtitles on, so there we go. That's the first one, using a little bit of Merry Merlot, Flirty Flamingo and Pear Pizzazz. So let's go for a different one. So this time, I think I'm going to get a little bit of Merry Merlot card, and same thing, make a card base. And for anybody who's watching, make a note of the colours I've used, and if you're not already, please join the Loose Colourful Crafters Facebook group and add yourself. And then what I'd like to see is any projects, preferably made using the same colour, all three colours, but if you've only got one or two, see what you can show me. Post a picture of a project you've made in the next week using these three colours. So it was Flirty Flamingo, Pear Pizzazz and Merry Merlot. And anybody who does so, I'm going to keep a record, and at the end of the month I'm going to do a little raffle for anybody who's been commenting on my Facebook page. So it's Lou's Colourful Craft. This ribbon is, I've lost it again, it's the white crumple one, just a very white satiny one. Thanks Kathy. So what I'm going to do this time, I'm going to bring in another stamp set. Now I've never used this, I have no idea whether it's going to work. It's called Amazing Silhouettes. It's from the new catalogue, and what I'd like you to do is to tell me whether we're going to use the tree, a butterfly or the flowers. So this is out of the new catalogue, and I'm wanting to know whether we're going to do a tree, a butterfly or the flowers. Tree. Anybody else? I'm thinking the tree. Yeah, we're going to try the tree. I've no idea how it stamps. I've no idea what it does. But I'm going to put it on the big block. I am going to try... Whoops. Tree. Butterfly. Oh, I'll do both in a minute. So, I'm going to... Because it's a big stamp, if you remember... Put the ink to the stamp, and I'm going to use my trusty old grid paper just to see what it actually does. Oh, the tree definitely wins it. Wow. So let's give it a go. I've no idea what happens when you stamp Pear Pizzazz on Flirty Flamingo on Pear Pizzazz either, but we'll find out in a minute. Okay, so I've got a little bit of green. And don't forget, if it goes horrendously wrong, you've always got your emergency side. So line it up with your grid, turn it round, and with the big stamps it's quite important to put quite a bit of pressure on and let the ink transfer onto the card. Oh, how pretty! Now I don't know about you, but I think it should be further up, so I'm going to just try again. I've got it too far down on my little block. And if anybody hasn't got a catalogue out there, please let me know and I'll get one in the post. If you have, don't miss out on our celebration, because there are some truly lovely things available. Every time you spend £45, you can have a free item, and some of them are lovely. I've definitely seen enough otters, but that's another story. There we go. Oh, I'm liking this. Right, I'm running out of desk space. So, Merry Merlot, Pear, Pizzazz, Flirty Flamingo, and what I'm thinking... Oh no, that's too loud. But I am going to get one of these out of here again that says, I use the happy birthday because that's another nice one in here that says happy birthday, and I'm going to go with, the reason I've not gone and got my my Pear Pizzazz ink, I do actually have all three inks, is because it's on the other side of the room and I'd have to negotiate about 1,000 other things. So let's go for happy birthday. Oh, too much you see that there, what's called a halo? I'll just be honest with you, that's where you press down too hard when you're stamping. So I'm going to turn him over, give him plenty of juice on the ink, but don't press too hard. Firmly, but straight up. There we go, that's better. I'm going to trot that off straight up there. Let's have a see. Merry Merlot ribbon. I can't see any. I don't think we've ever had anybody. If anybody could tell me, I'd like to know. I could make Merry Merlot ribbon. Let's see what other whites we've got up here. I'm just thinking, I'm literally just thinking to pop that one on there. I'm going to cut a slightly bigger strip of, of this one. Sorry about that, it all just collapsed on me. Going to pop that on there. A bit of Tombow. I do halos all the time. It is simply, Elizabeth, that you can press down just too hard or slightly even rock your block, and we don't want rocking blocks. There we go. And then I'm just going to pop the... Hi Katie! We're doing a colour challenge. I've challenged myself. So I have 3 colours on the go tonight. We have Merry Merlot, Pear Pizzazz and Flirty Flamingo. And I'm having a go. Oh, now you see that's too big. So we'll have to find another sentiment for this one that's smaller. So let's have a look and see what I've got in the boxes behind me. What should we have? I think we're going to use, if I can find it. It's the trouble when you've used a new stamp set, you can't actually find anything. There we go. That might be more effective. Let's have a go with this one. This is one of the sets. This is called Special Moments. Not the Flirty Flamingo on there. Well, let's have a see. Let's have a try. I'm going to try here with this. What am I trying to do? This, I don't like the happy birthday, so let's put that over there. Bringing back in the Merry Merlot. Let's have a see like this. I think you're wonderful. I do. And I know that's just gone downhill. So let's do what I'm supposed to be doing, which is using my grid. There we go. Or, I see what Rebecca's saying, I need a little sentiment. Let's try trimming this one. Yeah, I'm going to use that one in a minute. I'll use up, that'll be my last card. I'm just going to trim a little bit off this one. Oh. I haven't got enough long enough arm tonight. Oh, still not straight. Right, this is what happens. Now just go slowly, Louise, slowly. Grab a scrap. Go for a centimetre and a half. Cut the piece first, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. And try again. Merry Merlot ink. And stamp up the right way. There we go. And actually, interestingly, I seem to have grabbed a piece of our shimmery white. So, and I'm just going to pop that. I'll just reach down here. I've had a big organisation, thanks to Rebecca and Edward, in my craft room, and it's amazing I can find everything. It's quite exciting, actually. Now, where do we think this one's going to go? Do we think we need to go? Oh, I think we're just going to go across the tree. Just across the tree. So there we go. And the last one I'm going to do, I'm going to bring in a piece of Flirty Flamingo. Bottom, definitely. A piece of Flirty Flamingo. And like so. Again, we're just doing a card front. I am going to get the butterflies, because I want to see what the butterflies do too, out of here. And one of my favourite techniques, and I've no idea whether it's going to work with these stamps, is to actually stamp on the same colour ink. So I've got the butterfly. They look like that. They don't, because I've just stuck a dimensional. What on earth did I do that for? On there. Right, so we're going to put him on there. I've no idea. I might do it. What do we think? Merlot? Yeah. Merlot or Flirty Flamingo. Or should we do a mix? Let's go for a mix. Let's go for a mix. Can't have controversial. This is Stampin' Up, Rebecca. Yeah, we're going to go for a mix. So I'm going to use the lines on my grid. I'm always going to stamp just slightly off. Merlot. I'm going to do a mixture. How interesting. The silhouette stamps. Would be, they're called Amazing Silhouettes. Let's have a go. Now with the Merlot, because I think it's quite dark, I'm just going to try it on here. Oh no, it might work. How interesting. But what we need on there is the green as well. And then if I do that, let's have a see. It's fascinating when you just try and challenge yourself a little bit. It really is interesting, because all our products are so lovely. They do actually go together eventually. Not necessarily the ones you would think, oh yes, I'm going to use those. But as I say, for anybody who is watching, I'll put a note on my actual Facebook page. But anybody who wants to take up this challenge this week, and you love that one, your favourite so far. Thank you, Bo. And I'm just going to glue that on. I like these stamps. These are one of the ones we got given from going to conference. And then I'm going to bring in my favourite punch. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it needs a little bit of ribbon. I'm going to just use a little bit of the Hessian ribbon because I like this for texture. And the nice thing with the Hessian ribbons is you can actually fray them. So I'll show you. If you just pull the, oh, you can. If you just use your snips and pull some of this out, it will fray. Just gives it a little bit more. There we go. Can't decide whether I want to go portrait. I think it's portrait, definitely. Might do one of my mum's favourite ribbon techniques here. I'll just fray this end. And just literally loop them over. And I'm going to pop that over there. I'm just going to find a snail back here. And pop a bit of that down there. Make a loop. Snail, remember you need dry glue on dry product. Oh, she says, as it flies off. I'll hold it down in a minute. And I'm going to use this one and this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Portrait, yeah. Thank you, Fran. Yeah, they do, don't they? I think it's really useful sometimes to just have a go, because what's the worst that can happen? And if you don't like it, you haven't genuinely lost an awful lot. Whoop. And I'm just going to, whoops, there we go. I just need to find a little tiny sparkle just for that corner and clear my mess out of the way, and hopefully you can see tonight we've made 3 cards using a couple of stamp sets and my colour challenge of Pear Pizzazz. I've lost it. Merry Merlot, Pear Pizzazz, and where have you gone? Somebody's pinched me, Flirty Flamingo. They're in colour families and it's really tricky to actually find them. There's all the oranges. Somebody's had it. There is no more Flirty Flamingo on my... It must be here because these are the brights. Or maybe it isn't. Anyway, so there we go. So, as I say, if you're not a member of Lou's Colourful Crafters on Facebook on the group and you can't find it, send me a message, I'll let you know. If you would like to take part in the little bit of a challenge this week, I'd love you to join my Lou's Colourful Craft Facebook group, and hopefully I'll see some of your lovely projects sometime soon. So the colours were Flirty Flamingo, Merry Merlot and Pear Pizzazz. Have a go. Post what you make live in the group. Just a photograph's fine. And anybody who does so this week, I'll keep a note. And at the end of January, I'm going to put everybody's name into a hat and hope somebody will win a little bit of something. Now, next week, does anybody want to give me one colour for a challenge? I'll choose the other two, but I'd love you to tell me one colour. Right, we've got early espresso. Have we got another one coming up? I'm writing that one down, Elizabeth. Early espresso. Espresso. Polished pink. Oh my word. One more, please. Anybody got a suggestion? A night of navy. Oh my word. Brown, blue and pink. Okay. We'll go for it. Thank you, everybody. It's been great fun. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks ever so much for taking part. Hope to see some of you soon, either live or in person or on Zoom. I will hopefully be, well, I will hopefully, what I'm talking about hopefully, I'll hope you all stay safe. Those of you who haven't got COVID yet, please try not to. I'm desperately trying to avoid it. And those of you who are on my team, I'd love to see you all again later. I have sent a Zoom link. Take care, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.